All right, let's get this watch party for the Mandalorian Chapter 12 started. I'll be listening in on the headphones from the TV and sharing my thoughts with you as they come. As usual, a recap. The last episode, which was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, and very well, I might add, was just half an hour. This one is showing a runtime of almost similar 37 minutes. So I guess they've started to shorten down the episodes from the usual 50 minutes in the first season. This recap is all about how Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian have ended up in the place they are, which is headed to meet Ahsoka Tano. They were directed to her by Bo Katan in the previous episode, The Heiress. All right, so, and we also saw Moff Gideon played excellently by Giancarlo Esposito of Breaking Bad fame. So, I am the danger. That's actually Walter White, but his Gus Fring was excellent as well. Okay, so again, a short recap like the previous episode. And we also know that the dark saber that Moff Gideon has is something that the heiress Bo Katan needs to rule over Mandalore. We pick up at the exact same spot that was there in the last scene of the last episode. I like how the Razor Crest have become more and more decrepit over the season. It's pretty much I'll get it in right now, and Baby Yoda is having fun with the circuits. But at least now he's come to know enough about the Razor Crest to actually help Mando out in fixing the circuits. This reminds me a lot of Baby Groot, remembering the which button to push in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when they have to blow up Ego from the inside. All right. As usual, communication breakdown between the two, but still, he's getting there, he's getting there. I think they put the puppet with unrealistic, jerky motions by purpose. Seems like Baby Yoda has got a bit of an electric shock, but he's alright. He's a tough kiddo. Eats whatever, eggs, cephalopods, frogs. Oh, and here we go. Some broth type thing from the steel bowl. Alright. And for Smule in my background music. The Mandalorian lifts up his helmet a little bit and has a bit of the broth. Before this, one of the first times, and one of the few times that we actually saw him about to eat was in the chapter 4 sanctuary episodes, in which there's a plate of food brought to him, and then he takes off his helmet and puts it aside. But it wasn't until the last episode of that season that we were allowed to see Pedro Pascal and all his glory behind the helmet. And only because Taika Waititi's IG-11 droid was the one tending to it, and not a living thing. Let's see what's going on. Aliens about to eat animals. Okay. These aliens remind me a bit about Rick and Morty's episode. Seems like the usual Western entrance that Mando makes, unless I'm mistaken and something completely different turns up. Oh, it's Gina Carano, I think. has she become a member of the guild and now working for Brief Karga, played by Carl Weathers of Predator fame, using her MMA skills. As usual, oh, that's a nice way to use an alien shield. It seems like she has joined the guild, or maybe she's just doing it on her own. The mongoose type creature who was about to become chowder of the aliens is feeling free and trying to show its affection, but let's see if she takes it on as a pet. She gives it something to eat. And there we go. The title, The Mandalorian. Okay, chapter 12 is called The Siege. Without giving too much away, I like to I like to imagine that he is going to be coming to the aid of certain people who are under a siege. But let's see what happens. The Razor Crest is limping to a soft landing. And yeah, the scene from the trailer in which Cara Dune, Gina Carano, and Grief Karga, Carl Weathers are walking up to meet the Mandalorian right out of the trailer. And oh, so even the that's a nice touch. The Razor Crest is so badly in need of repair that even the ramp from which they get on and off cannot descend completely. Okay, so it seems that the character of Cara Dune has been given the title of Marshal, just like Cobb Vanth, played by Timothy Olyphant in the first chapter of this season, The Marshal. No pram for Baby Yoda, but lots of love from Grief Karga. Okay, so I guess he's back on Nihal. Yeah, it seems like peace has been restored since they defeated Moff Gideon's stormtroopers in the last chapter of the first season. Marshal Dune has cleaned up the town. All right. All right. So they keep making references to the Outer Rim as if, you know, it's not worth fighting over by either the Imperials or the New Republic. Oh, the Corellian run and the Hydian way. Yeah, well, lots of Star Wars references for Star Wars fanatics. And again, a repetition of wherever I go, he goes. And we're talking, of course, about Baby Yoda. C3PO style droid, and Yoda has been put into flux. Snooze ad again. Alright. So the bronzish C3PO style droid is unlikely to be the original C3PO, but then again they're droids, so manufacturing lines, Baby Yoda taking an interest in something that his classmate is eating. I think he's got a voracious appetite. I think he's gonna get something to eat, like a blue chewing gum type thing. The capital of the New Republic is on Chandrila, which sounds a lot like the Hindi name for the moon, Chandra. Nice reference there to our satellite, which we all know and love. Oh, it seems like Baby Yoda is not going to get something to eat. But I highly doubt if it's going to deter him from trying to get it. Oh, is he going to use the force to get some food? There we go, there we go. The child has noticed that the other child has noticed that he's got what it was eating. Just like Baby Yoda to use the force to get what he wants, which is blue macaron kind of thing, or I guess cookie dough. Who knows what aliens eat? Even though that child that was eating it was human. Okay, so we see another callback. In fact, right from the first chapter, the first scene, in fact, and the first scene of the recap also showed Mando capturing this blue guy, alien, I would say, who has been, who he had frozen in carbonite and delivered to Grief Karga. All right. Okay. So, given the way the discussion is going, they need him to do something while the Razor Crest is repaired. So, I'm guessing this is going to be a non-space episode. It's going to be contained on Nevarro. Yeah, so it seems that they're explaining that there's an old Imperial base. Okay, so they want to get rid of an old Imperial base which has been on Nevarro ever since the Imperial forces, even before Moff Gideon got Imperial forces to lay siege to these people in the last chapter of last season. Obviously, he's going to agree to help because one, he has no choice, and second, the story has to move forward. The show must go on. Taking a ride in a hover car, shifty looking blue alien along with them. Okay, so I read something about stagecraft, and I don't remember the exact name of that software, which allows them to reduce the green screen effect. And of course, this is green screen, but in many of the places where the sets have been made so meticulously, it allows the actors to interact with the set or to shoot in an environment which actually lends itself to better, I wouldn't say more natural, but at least more believable interaction with their environment. All right. So they've arrived at some sort of a back door in the Imperial base, old Imperial base. Let's keep the background music coming. Eh? Thank you to Tyler Montgomery for his nice chilled out beats. The blue alien is just as shaky as ever, and his light speeder is matching blue. Alright, so they are, I guess, gonna head up into the Imperial base. His name is Mithrol, Mythrol. Well, reminds me of two things. One, Mithril, which is the Lord of the Rings steel that is like the Beskar of the Mandalorian universe. So just like Beskar, it's a little hard for enemies to do anything about it if a person is wearing it. Like when Frodo was wearing the Mithril vest and he got impaled by a spear from a troll, he was actually unhurt. And both in the book and in the movie, it was explained pretty well, depicted pretty well. One stormtrooper down, the rest of the episode to go. Stormtroopers are like amazingly bad at defending stuff, right? Oh, another one. Oh, three, four more. So Mando just flew up on his jetpack and made the entry easy for them. Right? They're planning out how they're going to blow up the base. A lot smaller than the Death Star, if you ask me. I have a feeling that a Chekhov's gun has been planted. There was a tarp covered vehicle in the loading bay, I will call it, and Mithril, looks longingly at it and says, "What a waste." So that's kind of, you know, premonition. I don't remember what TV tropes called it, but Chekhov's gun I do remember. So a Chekhov's gun is something that is name dropped or is mentioned early on in an episode, and then it comes into use later on. Okay, CCTVs are off. Very heist-like feel to this. From the control room onto the beach. He's my best friend in the whole world, and I'm really happy to be doing this with him. There's a series about traveling with your dog. It's like a reality TV competition about completing tasks with your dog. So that's what that ad was going to be about. So Midfall is the breaking in guy. Although at this time he just had to put the key in the lock, the digital lock. Alright, lava flow. This kind of an open lava thing was one of the places that even McGregor and Charlie Boorman visited in Long Way Up. I think in Nicaragua or Ecuador, one of those places where his adopted daughter Jamian had also come to visit him. Alright, so now that they are at the heat shaft, which is of course the open volcano lava looking thing, they are again pushing Mithril to go into a place he doesn't want to go. I mean, who would want to be on a narrow ledge over a lava lava river? Usual random playing with the controls. I like how none of the buttons are labeled or anything, and yet people in these sci-fi narratives are always able to press the exact right sequence, unless the story demands that they press a wrong button. Right, that was quick. So they are on their way back. 10 minutes before the heat shaft blows and takes the base with it. Stormtroopers 538. Okay, call in reinforcements. It's going to be another Stormtrooper massacre. In the last episode, also, they just, shot their way through, I'm guessing, dozens of Stormtroopers and blew a few out of the hatch uh, with pretty much ease. Something new. Seems like, I mean, it could be incubation chambers, but it seems like there's some sort of a scientific experiment going on. All right, all right. Got it, got it. Okay, so this is the person, Dr. Pershing, who had carried out those red laser tests and everything on Baby Yoda. So it seems that they've extracted some blood from Baby Yoda and injected it into subjects as usual for these experiments. And so obviously they're trying to not clone but now infuse Baby Yoda's powers into other people so that they can, I guess, train them to use the force or something like that. Okay. So obviously there's going to be another bounty put out on Baby Yoda because they need more blood to carry on their experiments. And now Mando knows that Moff Gideon did not die in that crash at the end of last season. We obviously knew that Moff Gideon is alive and well because he had given his troops orders in the previous chapter. In fact, he had ordered his troops to commit harakiri. I think harakiri used to mean heavenly wind, if I'm not mistaken. Another firefight, which, I mean, stormtroopers are just the worst. You know, they just mow them down. Even in hand-to-hand combat, they're just easily tested. They're back to the they're back to the Asia. There goes Mando on his jetpack. In fact, one of the Mandalorians that our Mando met last chapter also said this that they couldn't hit the side of a bantha, which is that yak type animal, huge vegetarian animal that they use for riding and I guess for eating. Alright, Mando has taken off and he goes across a chasm on his jetpack, like in the trailer. Okay, if they one of the stormtrooper leader actually says load your weapons. So if they need orders to load their weapons, seems pretty. There we go. The transport that Mitrol had eyed while coming in is going to get activated. Cara Dune has run to it and is going to attempt to start it up. See, again, those well practiced moves as if they've been doing this their entire lives. I mean, they might have in universe, obviously, anybody can, like, we won't have any trouble if we have to drive a car. If we already know how to drive a car, then we'll be able to drive different variants of cars. But obviously, these sci fi vehicles all seem so different from each other. The usual door coming down, and they have to make up. Oh, in fact, they've had to turn around and they'll have to. So, this is another scene from the trailer coming up in which they fall down a gorge, a canyon, And at the last moment, of course, as usual, there we go. The light speeder of Mithril, which he had left so unguarded, has been crushed. And stormtroopers. Okay, so these are those slightly elite stormtroopers, maybe, or maybe they're just that way because they have ride these speeder bikes, so they have a different sort of a helmet. I mean, why even bother, but at least, see, my problem is not that they get killed and eventually defeated all the time. My problem is that why even, you know, it's a foregone conclusion. Why even try? Still, I guess we need, I mean, new entrants to the Star Wars universe need that thrill of the chase. And so many times in the Star Wars universe, we've seen these gun turrets. In fact, the Matrix, right? So the Nebuchadnezzar and all the other ships that the people of Zion had against the Sentinels, they also had gun turrets like this, which were controlled by people who were sitting in these swivel chairs with the screen in front of them. The usual, the cross comes on the enemy, it goes red, locked on, and then they fire and the enemy is dead. All right, grenade, incoming. Fire in the whole movie, but I doubt it. Oh, that's gonna be a blasting, fiery test. The helmet of that poor stormtrooper just rolling to a stop. All right, an alien chase coming up. No, not an alien chase. The base has gone down. The base has been destroyed as expected. Well, the chase is not over. It wasn't an aerial chase, but more like a air to surface chase. Once again, Grief Karga at the controls of his gun turret. Red and green lasers. Cara Dune doing a good job of floating the transport along. There we go. Another lock. Red glow of the screen and incoming debris that takes out the gun turret. So there were four spacecraft after them, and now they are out in the open. So they are easily targeted by the flying craft. But I'm guessing, yeah, as expected, the Razor Crest is back in action, and the Razor Crest has already taken out one of them. Oh, Baby Yoda has hung on to that blue cookie dough roll looking packet, and he's eating that blue cheese out of it and going like this when the enemy ship is blown up. So Baby Yoda's puppetry has obviously been expanded in this season. And he's chewing down on that blue macaron looking thing. All right. Woohoo! Baby Yoda getting happy that the enemy spacecraft are getting blown out of the sky. All right. So I think this last, I mean, not last, but this Razor Crest taking out the enemy spacecraft is just a way to show that the Razor Crest is back on its maximum capacity levels and taking on the yeah usual aerial dogfight coming to an end with a blast through of the enemy spacecraft. It's kind of like how Captain Marvel punched through Thanos' spaceship. Oh, gross. Baby Yoda has he just vomited. Oh wow, he's cleaning. Mando is cleaning him up as well. But yeah, the stains are still there on its robes. So I'm guessing all the happiness it got from flying around and blowing up an enemy spacecraft has been too much for it to handle, and it has puked up its blue food. All right, the Grief Karga is obviously heading the New Republic the wrong way by not giving any information about the Razor Crest and Mando and Baby Yoda to them. He also drops a subtle hint at something that was mentioned at the beginning of the episode, which is that the New Republic or the Imperials shouldn't be interested so much in the outer rim. They should let it be. Let it be. Oh, so that raccoon type, mongoose type animal has latched on to Cara Dune. She gets a job offer from the quite experienced New Republic policeman Adam, who has come to check out the base blowing up. She's definitely not a joiner, but she did join some. I don't remember exactly. It was on Twitter, trending on Twitter after joined some sort of a platform which is for the Trumpies and for idiots. What's the exact name? Something with a P. Anyway, so okay. Hmm. The policeman sympathizes with her loss in her past, and I guess he makes her an offer for a New Republic police badge, shiny little badge. Is she going to consider it? We shall see. Move out and into space. All right. So I guess the Navarro part is done. The siege, I guess, just referred to the base getting blown up. As we draw near to the end of this episode, this is, I guess, an Imperial freighter with some sort of spy shadiness going on. Some device has been planted, setting up future episodes of The Mandalorian. This has to be Giancarlo Esposito. Moff it is, of course. got this. Oh, so they've got a tracking beacon on the Razor Crest. Well, this sets up future episodes or chapters nicely. Moff Gideon seems happy. I think he's checking out some sort of a Darth Vader. Oh, lots of Darth Vader type outfits. Right. We'll see how this is. Oh, directed by Carl Weathers. Written by John Favreau, of course, and created by him as well. Okay, so final thoughts before I end this live stream. Good action-packed episode, like the previous one. I like that they started keeping them short, not too much exposition. Action moves from scene to scene, and that's what keeps it interesting, especially for people who are new to the Star Wars universe. They might not be so interested in the backstory. They are more interested in how the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda are going to get to where they are going. So let's see. Now that Moff Gideon has a tracing beacon or a tracker installed on the Razor Crest, we are going to be seeing how that goes. I love these end credits, with the watercolor type feel that kind of give a recap of the whole episode. So, all right, with that, whenever you see this, however you see this, I hope you had fun. I hope you're staying safe wherever you are. And if you like what you see, subscribe. Check out my other videos for more pop culture things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and, of course, other episodes of The Mandalorian. That's it for now. Take care. Goodbye. Bhinder Bar.